Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? This is Ray John Lewis, aka Real Talk with Ray John. I want to thank everybody for all of your support and all of your kind words. Since we got started with this about 3 years ago now, um, it's really interesting how this show has grown and progressed over the years. It started out to be one thing, and then over time it's become something else, to the point where people will inbox me and ask me for um they'll ask me questions, they'll ask me for advice on specific things, and so they actually one a friend of mine who, like I said, um whose name will remain nameless. She reached out to me about a situation with a family with with her child, and she said, have you ever thought about doing a segment where you just you answer questions anonymously and you give people advice on things. And I don't, I definitely do, take pride in giving, advice to my friends and people that I care about, because, for some reason they value my opinion, which I appreciate. I still don't fully understand it, but I do appreciate it. And so what I said I'd do is I would start doing this. If people were interested in in this kind of thing, I would gladly answer their questions anonymously. So today is going to be my first installment of Ask Rajon. Now, before I get started, I want to make sure I share this because this is my page, and I want to make sure that my personal people also see it as well. So give me 1 second while I share this out, and then I'll get started. If you're in here, thank you so much for joining me. Please say something in the comment section. Say hey, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me something, so I know you're here. I like to acknowledge people who do come in. But if I can do it before I actually get started, because it gets really weird if I'm just shouting people out the entire time. Yeah. So let's see. This is my first ask. Hey Esther, what's up, Chantre? How's it going? Ask Rajon. And the topic, today's topic. What up, Jarrell? How you doing? Jonathan, what's up, man? Um, and it's helped me with my son. All right. Topic. Yeah. Um, what to do about, that's what I call it. What to do about my son. All right. All right, cool. Now that I've said that, let's do it. All right. So again, thank you all. I don't have an opening. So this is the first time I've done this. I don't have like a script. I don't have, anything planned out except for I'm going to read the statement. I'll let y'all read the statement with me. And then I'm going to give my advice. And you can feel free to give your comments in opinions in the comment section. What I will say is when people do reach out in these types of situations, I want to make sure that we're providing positive feedback to the person. This is not an opportunity to bash somebody or to cast aspersions on somebody based on what you may think proper parenting is, or their proper situations, because it may be a relationship situation, it may be a parenting situation, it may be a job situation, whatever it may be. We want to make sure that we're providing good positive feedback that they can use. Is substantive. So with that being said, let's get rolling. So I'm going to put the situation on the board. All right, so I'm going to read. So it says, my son will be, hopefully I can read, my son will be 17 soon. Put it that way. My son will be 17 soon. He has one more year of school. Although he was once considered gifted, he shows no interest in his grades or education as a whole. Not to compare my kids, but I know it's customary to question his home environment. I have two kids, both with the same parents. My daughter is all about her future, education, and grades. My son is the total opposite. They can't get, they can get anything they want from me as long as they deserve it, meaning getting good grades and showing good behavior. My son has chosen to neglect his responsibilities. Therefore, he has nothing to show for it except for a phone that he gets taken away a lot. He has always been quite a follower and wants to do what others think is right instead of cool, and thinks it's cool instead of following his own mind. I value education, but I'm not pushing it on him as long as he has a feasible plan. But currently, his goals are unrealistic, such as going into the military. But it doesn't look like he will not. It doesn't look like he will graduate. It doesn't look like he will graduate. He wants to be a game designer, but is not interested in college. And he has even said he wants to be a professional gamer. Still, I've got rid of his game because he couldn't do anything without being told to. In other circumstances, resulted in my decision to do away with his game. Sorry, I lost my track. Da, da, da. Do away with his game. Every year since seventh grade, he has gone to summer school. I have tried everything. I am at my wit's end. And although I am his mother, I feel that I am at the point of giving up on my son. He is not a bad kid, nor is he considered disrespectful. Still, he has done some things that I'm not willing to broadcast on social media, understandably, and I'm concerned about. Yes, it involves sex with girls and experimental drugs. I am running out of things to try. I am about to take him out of school. I'm about ready to take him out of school to get his GED and send him to Job Corps. I know you don't need a GED for Job Corps, but I don't want to just give up altogether. As for Job Corps, I must say that I'm afraid that he might end up with the wrong crowd in Atlanta, since he always seems to find the lousy crowd in our last two locations. But the idea of the wrong group in Atlanta where he would attend Job Corps is a bit frightening to me. She also says, although I'm open to opinions, I need viewers and commenters to understand that negative feedback should be kept to a minimum, as I am a real person, and this is not a scenario for their entertainment and an opportunity for them to bash my son or me. I do want feedback and advice on how other people would approach this situation to offer techniques that I may not try, that I may not have the thought to try. Thanks a bunch. All advice will be very, very appreciated. Also, please think of any questions that you could have to help clarify the situation. First of all, I want to thank the person who submitted this question. Like I said, this is an anonymous question. I will not tell you who the person is. They don't even live here. So if you lived in Charleston and you're trying to figure out who it is, you don't know because they don't live here, because they mentioned a different city several times. So let's start at the beginning, right? I work in mentorship. One of the things that I take a great pride in is young people. And one thing that I truly believe as a mentor of young people is that we cannot give up on our children, especially our young Black boys. So, Mom, I would start there. I would start there. No matter what you decide to do, you can't give up on him. Now, giving up means different things to different people. To some people, giving up is just saying, okay, I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself. You go out there, you see the world, you do what the thing is that you think is going to be the right thing to do, but I'm going to be right here. The main thing that your child must always know, to me, your child must always know that I always have somebody I can reach out to. I always have someone I can depend on. I always have someone who's going to be there for me. Let me get that off the screen. I'm always going to have somebody who's going to be there for me. So you as mom, no matter what you decide to do, you have to make sure you are instilling that message. And I believe based on the letter, you've done that. You may have taken things away. You may have taken away the phone. You may have taken away his devices. But you've consistently been there as mom. Rajon, I would start here. I would start with a career interest inventory. There's a website called careeronestop.com. If you go to careeronestop.com, I would take my son to careeronestop.com, which is a website, and have him complete a career interest inventory. Find out what the things are that he's interested in doing. Find out what he's interested in doing. Start there. The career interest inventory, what it does is it will ask him several questions. I think it's like 20 questions surrounding the things that he's interested in doing. And when he answers those questions, you'll get a clearer idea of the things that are potential careers for him. Not only will it tell him the careers that are available that he may be interested in, it would also tell him the likelihood of being able to get into that career. It will tell him the amount of education that you need to enter into that career. It will also tell you how much money that career makes. So many different things about the job prospects. Like I stand by that website. In fact, any kid that comes to my house, any child that comes to my house, I have them fill out a career interest inventory because it's so important to know what it is that you want to do. It sounds like your son is struggling with an issue of motivation. It may be a situation of surroundings, but you've mentioned in your letter that y'all moved around multiple times, so you must have been in the military or something like that. So that means that in different situations, your son has had struggles in other areas as well. It says he's always seemed to find the lousy public in our last two locations, and now I guess they're the wrong group in Atlanta is just another group of doing that. I have a situation with that where I've experienced that. Let's just put it. I've experienced that, and I completely understand what you mean. But I guess my main points, and again, if you listen to this letter and you have some advice that you want to offer as well, please do so. I would start with the career interest inventory. The next thing I would do is I would find um, a way to open the lines of communication because it sounds like maybe he doesn't feel open to really talk, to speak to you and tell you how he feels. So if not you, then maybe I know he has both of his parents in his life. Maybe if he doesn't want to talk to his father, maybe a third person being around. I see a Chantre Young mentioned DGC or mentoring. That's one of the great aspects of having a mentor is that you have another voice in the village, because it does take a village to raise a child truly. Having that additional voice around to make sure that that child knows I can talk to this person if I need to talk is such a beneficial thing. I would suggest that finding a mentoring organization or organization in your area that works with young men, and if nothing else, will just sit and provide a positive environment. So maybe instead of him having that negative environment, he'll be able to identify some positive friends. In terms of the military, we I'm a former military person, and I can tell you that a lot of people just think that their fail safe is going into the military. If you have military experience, you know that it's not that easy to just say, okay, well, I'm going to go in the Army, or I'm going to go in the Navy, or I'm going to go in the Air Force. You have to pass tests. You have to prepare for these things. And if your child hasn't been preparing up until this point, I don't know how prepared they will be. Um, I have had experience with Job Corps, and I can tell you that it can be a double-edged sword. It can be a really great thing for those who go into it with the right mindset. It can be a terrible thing for those who go in there with the wrong mindset. I've seen people go to Job Corps and join gangs. I've seen people go to Job Corps and become great people. So it all depends on what your child is going into it with. So there are definitely opportunities that were there. In terms of, he said he's experimented with drugs and with sex. Um, that's something that says to me he needs to be talking to people, if for no other reason than people need to be giving him good information. Again, that's the village. You're the village, and that uncle, that auntie, even that mentor, that trusted other adult. Because, and I'm trying to say things without having to be too personal on my own end, but my mentee has two parents, right? My first mentee that I have, he has two parents. He has a family, they have a stable life, and he still, needed a mentor to have that extra push. And a lot of the young men that I do mentor have families, they have support. So it's not a situation where if a child needs a mentor, or if a child has a mentor, that they don't have support at home. It just provides that additional support. I hope that but if your child is experimenting with drugs, I would definitely make sure that we are talking about that and what that means for them. I would establish some boundaries. I would definitely establish some boundaries to make sure that they understand that there's certain things that I just won't allow in my home. Now that's me. That's me, Rajon. Rajon is not going to allow certain things in my home, but there are certain things that I'm probably more flexible with than other parents may be as well. So I hope that what I said was helpful. If you have advice for this young lady for help with her son, please put it in the comment section or in the message section, or you can inbox me your suggestion if you don't want to put it in the comment section. I will not be putting anybody in contact with this young lady for her situation, but we can provide all the advice that we want to provide in the comment section. Again, I want to make sure that I say there's not an opportunity to bash anybody's parenting. There's not an opportunity to bash anybody's child. We want to provide a positive source of information and advice if we have it. There are a vast amount of people with a vast amount of information, and I just gave my take as Rajon. So just to recap, mentorship's important. If you can find a mentor, somebody positive in that to put into that child's life, in addition to the already positive atmosphere that you have in your home, I would do that. I would go to the Career One. I would go to the Career One Stop website, www.careeronestop.com, and have them fill out the career interest inventory to find out the things that they are interested in, and maybe you can start moving in that direction. I don't consider Job Corps to be a bad idea. You just want to make sure that if you are doing that, if you are going that route, that you know that your child knows what they're going there for, and that they're going there with the right attitude, because I've seen that go the wrong way more times than I care to count. And if that child is experimenting with sex and drugs, then I would definitely make sure that there's an opportunity for open communication without judgment for that child, whether it be you or an outside force. And I also want to say this: therapy. In the Black community, we shun the idea of therapy far too often. And sometimes we need to sit down on somebody's couch and talk about what we are going through. And your child may also be having some other things, that they're going through that they may not think we understand. So maybe they need to unleash to someone else before they bring it to us. I hope that was helpful. This is my first segment doing this. Let me know how I did. If y'all think I gave terrible advice, you can critique me. I am down for you critiquing me. If you think that the advice that I gave was bad advice, let me know. I have no problem with that as well. But if there's a situation or scenario that you'd like for me to talk about, please feel free to inbox me, or you can email me at realtalkwithrajon@gmail.com, realtalkwithrajon@gmail.com. Feel free to send me your questions, and I'll be glad to answer your questions as well. Young lady, I hope I was helpful. I hope I provided some kind of sound advice, something that you can use. And please, once you do whatever you're gonna do, send me a follow-up so I can know how it went. And if there's anything I can do in the future, please let me know. And if you want me to talk to your son, if you think that'd be helpful, I'll talk to him, because that's what we do. But at the end of the day, always remember, that's it. That's all I got for this. Always remember, God is everything. Without him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. And if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that's real talk. Peace.